Hello, everyone. My name is Leslie Schneider, and I'm here with Adam Hamm, Vice President, Biostatistics and Statistical Programming at SDC. SDC is a clinical research organization specializing in biostats, data management, and strategic consulting, helping pharma, biotech, and med device companies bring their products to market. Adam, the topic we're discussing today is, from a vendor's perspective, how quality and innovation in your data services team leads to success. Why is that an important topic to be talking about? And why are you the right person to be doing it?
Thanks a lot, Leslie. I'm glad to be here. I have over 17 years in the industry, all on the service provider, the CRO side. So I've developed many relationships in this industry with pharmaceutical companies of all sizes and diverse therapeutic areas. I've held multiple roles in data services as a practicing statistician, from lead study stat early in my career to the position I hold now, which is VP of Biostats and Stat Programming at SDC. And I've interacted with not only pharmaceutical clients, but also regulatory agencies. Across all of those experiences, I've seen the benefits that high quality of data and data summaries can bring to clients who are seeking submission of their research for agency approval. But I've also seen and experienced the roadblocks that clients encounter when their data quality and analysis is poor. And that can be incredibly frustrating and costly in more ways than one. So I'm excited today to share my thoughts on data quality and innovation from the partner perspective in data services, because I believe my experiences help provide a unique viewpoint in that regard.
Well, I'm really glad to be talking to you about this. So let's just get to the meat of it. How do you define quality in the data services world? I mean, is it just getting to the end of your study and having a lot of data points to analyze and present to the FDA about your trial? Or is there more to it? Talk to me about how you, as a data services professional working on clinical trials, define quality.
Yeah, so when I talk about quality in biometrics, I'm referring to quality in data services, specifically in the data used in analyses, the analyses itself, and the interpretation and reporting of the results. That all starts with a well-developed protocol and a stat plan where sample size and analyses are described in great detail and grounded in sound statistical theory. Now, when my clients define quality, they're generally thinking about their ability to trust that the input and results they receive from their data services group is accurate, it's relevant, developed according to specs that have usually been reviewed by multiple parties on the client side and the partner side, and have undergone a thorough review. Clients need to be able to stand in front of regulatory agencies and defend those results with confidence. And so I believe that's what quality means to the clients.
So, what are all the aspects that go into producing the right quality of data for a clinical trial? And more importantly, how do you make sure you end up there at the conclusion of your study?
Okay, first we have to recognize that this is a partnership from the beginning with a lot of moving parts, from CRAs to data managers to statisticians and stat programmers, and that's at a minimum. Statisticians need to be involved from the beginning, starting with protocol review and ensuring that not only are the correct study questions being asked and are consistent with the objectives, but also that study hypotheses are being tested appropriately. I know all that seems intuitive, but that can often be overlooked if the statisticians aren't involved from the beginning. Once we agree on those study questions that need answers, ensuring data quality and analysis starts with producing high quality CRFs. Do those CRFs capture all the information needed to answer study questions? From there, it's important for the data manager and the statistician to regularly review the data, perhaps even involving stat programming, so that they can ensure that the quality of the data remains high. And while that can't usually be done on a daily basis, we can set up regular intervals to review and program the data and share any concerns with the client. I've seen study database locks that were delayed due to data reviews that started too late in a study's life cycle. And an early review involving those parties can help identify if there could be potential issues in data analyses and address those earlier. So clients need to know and trust that not only their partners can meet deadlines, but also that their data analyses can be trusted. And certainly that all begins with high quality data. And that is the data that can be included in derivations and analyses is collected appropriately so that the final data is clean, can be used in analytical models to tell the story of the clinical trial overall. Now, internally on the partner side, achieving quality requires having appropriate time and talent resourcing models in place for the data services team and making sure they have the appropriate therapeutic expertise for the study they're working on. Some people don't realize how important that is. And the reason it's important is because clients need to know that their data services partner is well versed in handling their study with the right amount of expertise. Over the years, one of the biggest complaints I've heard from sponsors is they feel like they have to guide the study team too much. And the reasons for that are obvious to a sponsor with deep clinical knowledge in their space, and that's an obvious lack of expertise from the CRO or their data services partner. Certainly, having CRAs and project managers who are well versed in the therapeutic area is key. But don't forget that data managers and statisticians need to be able to speak that language as well. So for example, oncology CRFs. These can vary depending on whether you're talking about solid tumors or hematologic malignancies. And if a data manager isn't experienced in those areas, they won't understand the nuances of the different types of CRFs that are required in each area. So similarly, the analyses in those different types of oncology are also different and require an experienced statistician to recognize that and describe the analyses appropriately. Another important piece to achieving high quality is having solid knowledge sharing and knowledge transfer processes in place. You're building in redundancies at work to prevent and mitigate mistakes, and that also goes for knowledge transfer. Personnel, they can move about, they can be promoted, they can move on to different companies, but you want the knowledge base about that study to stay put and be somewhere that is easily accessed and taken up by the rest of the team without having to adjust timelines. Many of the most successful efforts that I've seen over the years that led to high quality and approved submissions to the agency have several themes tied to them. First and foremost, and of course I'm biased here, is an integrated and highly involved statistician from the start. Many times they'll even program the analysis data themselves so that they can retain a level of familiarity with it. High quality submissions have also included team members with expertise in CDISC formats in order to ensure that the data is submitted in the agency's preferred language, if you will, and make the agency's job much easier to confirm analysis results. Now, for those who aren't familiar with CDISC standards or what that stands for, I won't go into a really deep dive, but we'll just mention that those are agreed upon standards with regulatory agencies to make their jobs in reviewing the data and confirming analysis a little smoother, with the ultimate goal of having analysis that is analysis data that's generally one computational procedure away from being able to provide final output and specs for derived data that have traceability back to the raw data for regulatory review. Now, those standards can also be built into an EDC system and make CRFs to help CRFs make the process of programming the standardized data easier as well.
So, Adam, I want to take you to innovation. People talk about innovation all the time in every industry, but in clinical trials, we've had to radically adjust our practices very recently. Everyone is trying to be innovative. They're looking for ways that other people are being innovative to see if they can adopt them. But what is innovation to you as a CRO biostatistician?
Well, I think the term innovation has a lot of different meanings depending on who you speak to about it. From a stats perspective, it seems to be the latest buzzword, much like adaptive used to be. In that sense, the term innovation to me simply means designing studies or proposing stat methods that may not be widely accepted yet. Maybe they're unique or ahead of their time. For example, innovative designs in early oncology can lead to improved patient safety and sometimes a quicker identification of a safe and efficacious dose. I think most people listening know what a 3+3 design is in early oncology, and there have been many innovative and adaptive designs that have improved upon that design from practical and statistical perspectives. Statisticians are continuously thinking about ways to improve designs without sacrificing basic statistical tenets, and with the ease of operation that comes with similar 3+3 designs. Now that's innovation. However, it should be noted that implementing that innovative design or stat technique should involve engaging regulatory agencies as early as possible, include a well thought out stat plan outside of the standard protocol. Getting that blessing early is important, and it can help streamline processes later without delays. I've had a lot of experience with this, and regulatory agencies have really been very productive, supportive, and instructive in that regard. So, operationally, to me, innovation means developing processes or initiatives that may not be standard or usual to develop efficiencies without sacrificing quality.
Okay, so what are some of the newest trends in innovation for this industry?
So, in our practice here at SDC, I see that happening primarily with automation of various processes. So many improvements have been made in these different automated processes over recent years, and a lot of the industry is doing that as well. And while that certainly isn't the only example of operational innovation, many of the innovative processes start there.
Adam, can you talk to me about why innovation leads to success?
Well, if we define success as having beneficial therapies approved more readily, or even preventing treatments that could be potentially harmful from reaching a larger number of patients, then certainly innovation and study designs can address that very thoughtfully. Operationally, having innovation as part of your processes as a company benefits clients in a variety of ways. Automating standard processes on our end, the partner end, can eliminate lower level tasks from an employee's day. And that can allow a shift in focus to high quality data and analyses, which will lead to not only more trusted results, but a timelier turnaround.
So, this has been incredibly informative, and I just want to thank you for speaking to me about this today. You've covered a lot of ground. But what do you hope listeners walk away with from this conversation?
So, ensuring data quality in any organization is never an easy process. There's so many moving parts and so many interactions between team members, much like any organization or any business. However, data services partners, we're uniquely equipped with the tools needed to put the focus on where it matters the most, and that's on clean, high quality data and appropriate analysis techniques for that data. And the importance of that should not be underestimated. Data services should be integrated early and often, and the leads from data management and biostatistics should be key and influential members of the clinical team. Almost every study I've had to rescue that I've come across has similar themes. First of all, the pitfall of not having involved a seasoned and experienced statistician early, and then also the failure to understand how the data are being captured, queried, and ultimately analyzed in the trial. If we can recognize that and leverage innovation when possible, our trials should run smoothly, run without delay, and produce trusted results that provide beneficial treatments to the populations that need them.
Adam Hamm, thank you for your time today. And I'd like to thank the audience for joining us for this great conversation on how quality and innovation in your data services leads to success, a partner's perspective. If you'd like to learn more, please email data@sdcclinical.com, visit our website at sdcclinical.com, or reach out to Adam directly via LinkedIn or at his email, aham with two M's at sdcclinical.com.